was not.
How are you all?
Hey guys,
Hey.
how are you?
Doing well. Have you all been waiting on us?
No, we just got here. I just let them in first so they have a chance to kind of connect a little bit because I think this is Tony and Mickey's first time meeting each other, but they already have a mutual connection. Tony knows everyone. So it makes sense. But hey guys, I'm Kieran from the Wefunder team. We have Tony and Mickey today on the investor panel. They're just going to be asking you questions about your business. But to get us started, can you guys give us a quick 30-second introduction about Cornbread Hemp? And then they'll jump in with their questions afterwards.
I think Eric's got this.
Sure. So I'm Eric. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO. We're a family-owned business from Kentucky. The first certified organic CBD company, basically in the entire Midwest region, and that's where we really focus on through wholesale via health food stores and pharmacies, and then Google search results and SEO presence. And so our market is really Indianapolis, Chicago, Louisville, Nashville, Atlanta, and we kind of have doubled down and really focused on getting ourselves to show up in Google and then finding people in the store at trusted retailers.
So you can sell online?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we sell primarily, before COVID-19 started, we were about 50-50 right down the middle between wholesale orders and online sales. But since COVID started, we're probably about 65-35, maybe 60-40.
The only restriction we have for online sales is that we're restricted to domestic U.S. customers. We can't ship internationally because we sell a full spectrum product that has a modest amount of THC, a federally legal amount of THC.
Is that a 25%?
0.3% is the so
25%. That's some good stuff.
If we can sell the 25% stuff, this would be a different conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But even though that's rock bottom, that's still more than we can ship overseas or even to Canada. So our market is domestic, but we can send that through U.S. Postal Service to any mailbox in the country.
Okay. So what's the number one? I watched your video, which was done very, very well. I like the fact that you guys are on brand. You both sit in the same seat every time you do a video. That's pretty cool.
We've got a setup. We can't mess it up.
I love it. I love it. Or well, you guys are like the Bartles and James guys. But,
We've heard this before.
Right. From old school people who know what that is.
We'll get on rocking chairs next time.
That's right. So I wasn't really clear. I mean, I know you need it for marketing, but I wasn't clear on what the boost is you expect to get from the money that you're raising. I mean, if you walk us through your thinking on how you're going to take off based on where you are. And I know there's plenty of people in Kentucky who've been growing all kinds of things and probably shifted over. The shift from tobacco to weed wasn't too tough, but
Right.
will you have enough support?
So
material to do
it's really three places, and this is all outlined in the Wefunder campaign. 33% give or take on marketing, 33% inventory, 33% payroll. So we've already hired a full-time employee that started on June 1st. She's right around the corner here working. So she is now our full-time wholesale person. So she's covering, cold calling and customer service on the wholesale side, while Jim and I are dividing and conquering on the online PR side. So part of that money is scaling up our manpower. The second part of that is really PR and backlinks. So one of the most important strategies we have is which sites are talking about us, how are they talking about us, are they giving us a link, those sorts of things. And to start those conversations and those relationships takes money. And so, we're investing in the right partnerships through backlinks from trusted sources, like Leafly and stuff like that. So that's kind of the marketing scale up that we're using in order to increase our impressions and our, brand visibility on Google.
Okay.
And so,
And the third part of this is the inventory.
third part's the inventory.
So because we're a hemp company, our access to banking is limited because banking is still tricky. So a normal company could access a line of credit for inventory, but we can't do that. So inventory is a cash outlay for us, and so we have to make sure we have money set aside for it.
Got it. I want to make one more comment, then I want to turn it over to Mickey because I absolutely don't want to dominate this. But I'm in a similar situation in terms of trying to figure out what influencers I want to use and backlinks I want to use with an entrepreneur I'm working with and another entry. And so I'm an investor in a company called Popular Pays, which essentially gives you a catalog of influencers who are organized by tags that you can type in, so that they will present themselves and show you influencers and the statistics around of how relevant they might be to your online campaign. So Popular Pays is pretty impressive. But let me turn it over to Mickey.
Yeah, I'm curious on the digital marketing focus, and you mentioned SEO and interest in what people are searching for. What are they searching for when they're looking for you? Who's kind of like your unique target demographic that you're going after?
Great question. I'll answer that. So our niche is really the organic side of things. So there's CBD oil, full spectrum CBD oil, and then there's organic. So we've really focused on people looking for organic CBD or hemp products. And then also we focused a lot on just general research topics. So, will CBD get me high? Answering that question in a blog post. One thing we've done in the past 6 months is we've added a pharmacist to our team. That's a 25-year oncology pharmacist, Dr. Leslie Mudd. She's helping us write blog posts to answer people's questions. And as we raise our results in Google, while people are searching those questions, they find us, and then they consider us a trusted resource after they go through our blog. So it's a mix between a niche product offering, something that's different than what everybody else out there is offering, and then also education.
So to break down the market, there's thousands of CBD brands in America.
3,500.
3,500 is a reliable number that we've heard from.
Wow.
Hard to keep track or know what that number really is, but 3,500 seems accurate. And then of those brands that are certified organic, there's probably a dozen to 20. It's an incredibly small niche in that greater pool of CBD brands. And then inside that niche of certified organic brands, none of them are attacking online SEO like we are. If you Google USDA certified organic CBD, depending on your browser, we're the top hit, certainly on the first page.
We're just organic CBD, we're on the first page.
So for customers who are looking specifically for organic CBD on search engines, we're an option for them and we're seeing that come in from all over the country, from all sorts of from every corner of the country. So that's a really important part of it. Our target market, our target demographic is women over 45. So when you overlay those two data sets and start to get an idea of who our customer is, we're boomer and Gen X women who are looking for organic CBD pain relief.
Do you find that there's an education process necessary for that demographic, or are they already seeking it out because they're hearing about it?
Everybody's coming in at a different education level, and we have to be mindful of that and communicate sort of every level of education in all of our content. So we have some boilerplate content in these blog posts that are sort of really basic. What is CBD? What does CBD do? And then drilling down into more sort of nuanced educational pieces for people who are moderately educated. But people are really coming into this at every stage of the education process, and we have to take them how they come and work with them from there. So we have to be mindful of the novice and the expert at the same time.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely true because the market is still so young right now. Was it only 16% of people use CBD? 14%. So that's still not a lot of people in terms of the total United States. And I think, as we continue to grow, our focus is on really the educated, sophisticated CBD consumer because we offer such a higher quality product. And, our reviews can kind of show that. So if you were to go through and read, a lot of people say, I've tried a lot of CBD. This is definitely the best one I've tried.
But that level of sophistication really can be determined by which part of the country a customer is coming from. Customers from states with legal marijuana or mature marijuana markets are more sophisticated than someone's coming from the South or the Midwest in a state that doesn't have medical marijuana. So where someone's coming from is usually an indicator of how sophisticated they are at understanding the And since our focus is in the Midwest and Upper South, for the most part, we're targeting states that do not have legalized marijuana, although Illinois is certainly an exception to that. Ohio is an exception to that. But it just depends on where people are coming from. So we have to be mindful of our customer base at every step of the education ladder and get them where they are.
So I want to ask, I know that getting an organic certification for a farmer is more than a notion. I mean, it's kept a lot of people out because between pesticides and insecticides, between fungicides, pesticides, most farmers are like, I don't want to go through what it takes to be an organic, certified organic. Is your barrier to entry, is your specialty the fact that the farmers that you're working with in Kentucky know how to do organic, are experienced in that, and can provide it to you, or is organic not as big of an issue in this industry?
So from the beginning of last year, we partnered with, networked with the beginnings of the Kentucky Organic Hemp Cooperative, a group of organic farmers who are getting into hemp. For the most part, they're previously organic farmers growing hemp for the first time, and also some hemp farmers who are coming into organics for the first time. But mostly, these are farmers that had an established organic presence to begin with, so knew the paperwork and already had the certifications. And so that barrier to entry was not present for them. But as of last year, the harvest, there was a glut not only of Kentucky hemp generally, but of organic hemp. The choke point is really the processing, and we've partnered with a processor, and we're their first and biggest customer, making sure that we are moving their product through our brand. So the choke point is really the processing, not the farming. There's plenty of high quality organic hemp product biomass for us to work with.
Okay.
If
Thank you.
presents itself.
Got it. Thanks.
That was really well done.
We have time for one more. You need to wrap up.
Yeah.
Do we have time for one more question? Do you have to wrap up, Kieran?
You got one more if you want it.
Okay.
Ask us a good tough one.
Yeah.
My question was about the team. So you mentioned it's a family-owned business operated. Can you tell us about, are you two on the founding team? Can you tell us about your backgrounds?
Sure. So I'm a former journalist and book writer. I went to Brown and the Columbia Journalism School to be a writer. Came home back to my hometown of Kentucky. I wrote a book called The Cornbread Mafia, which is about the largest domestic marijuana syndicate in American history. 70 Kentucky guys arrested on 30 farms in 10 states with 200 tons of marijuana back in the 80s. And that was a really successful nonfiction book. I translated that into a journalism career, covered cannabis for cannabis policy for publications like Politico and the Washington Post. And then while I was covering the Farm Bill in 2018, I found this opportunity to start this business. Meanwhile, my cousin Eric has an MBA and an e-commerce background. He was exiting a project in Nashville, coming back home, and we got together in Thanksgiving of 18 and plotted this out. And by New Year's, we were rolling and had our seed investor and products out the door by April of last year. So it was a really sort of fast incubation period, and we learned all last year. And in the meanwhile, in the background, we were getting the organic stuff worked out. And by the holidays of last year, we had organics in our distribution pipeline.
So we're the only two founders. I don't know if that was a question you just asked, but I feel like I heard you ask if we are on the founding team. We're the only two founders. We have basically, so I went to Bellarmine University here in Louisville, got an accounting degree, got an MBA, started a catering business. That's where I first started learning about SEO, local catering business. Then I had a client that was a tourism company in Louisville that, hired me to move to Nashville to start their Nashville branch of the business. So I did all those things, learned how to manage cash, learned how to, actually manage a team and build a real small business from scratch. And so basically, I quit my job and moved home, and we immediately started working on this company. And, Jim's put his network of, farmers and his research and background and people trust him in Kentucky in this industry because he wrote that book would you start in 2006?
Yeah.
So, you know, we have more connections and network than a lot of people. And that's really the reason why we became the first company to offer certified organic. It's because we knew exactly who had it, and we were the first ones to put all the dots together. You'd be shocked how many people in Kentucky started a farm or started a processor or started some piece of the puzzle, but had no actual customer yet. You know, so for a lot of people, we're kind of a saving grace in a lot of ways. And so it feels good to have started a company that's doing good, helping people with the product, but actually sharing, you know, the love in our community as well.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump in just because we're out of time and the next founder's in the waiting room. But thank you so much, Eric and Jim, for joining this call and telling us more about Cornbread Hemp. I think investors will really appreciate seeing this video on your profile.
Thank you guys.
Kieran, Tony, great to meet you. Talk to you
Great
soon.
to meet you guys too.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.